Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sunita M. I'm here to solve some problems on conversion of a NFA to DFA. First, let me tell you about NFA and DFA. What is NFA or else what is DFA? Deterministic Finite Automata, and NFA is Non-Deterministic Finite Automata. What is the difference between two? So deterministic finite automata is nothing but what? From one state with one input symbol, it will reach to only one state. But whereas non-deterministic finite automata, from one state with one input symbol, it will reach to more than one state. So this is the main difference between a DFA and NFA. Okay, so now we'll convert an NFA into DFA. So this is the problem given. Convert the given NFA to DFA. Okay, so Q0 on 0, it is going to Q0 also, and it is going to Q1 also. And Q0 on 1, it is reaching to Q1. Okay, Q1 on 1, it is going to Q0 also, and it is going to Q1 also. Okay, so check first whether this is a DFA or a NFA. Okay, see the diagram given, the transition diagram given is NFA only, because from one state with one input symbol, it is reaching to more than one state. That is Q0 on 0. It is reaching to Q0 also, and it is reaching to Q1 also. Hence, this is an NFA given, and they said us to convert this NFA into DFA. Okay. First, we'll write the transition table for the given NFA, that is on 0 and on 1. How many states are there? 2 states, Q0 and Q1. Okay, Q0 on 0, where it is going? Q0 also and Q1 also. Okay. Q0 on 1, where it is going? To Q1. And Q1 on 0, is there any state it is reaching on 0? No. So, empty. Q1 on 1, Q0 also, and Q1 also. So, this is just a transition table for the given NFA. Okay. Now, we need to convert this into DFA. So, transition table we have drawn. That is the initial state. Okay. Next step is whatever the new states we are going to get after the transition function, those transition we need to find. Okay. First, we'll start initially with the Q0, as Q0 is a start state and Q1 is a final state. Okay. Let us start with the Q0. That is initial state. So, transition of Q0 on 0. Okay. Transition of Q0 on 1. So, transition of Q0 on 0, where it is going? Q0, Q1. Okay. Transition of Q0 on 1, where it is going? Q0 on 1. Only Q1. Okay. So, here, what are the new states we got? Q0, Q1 as well as Q1. Now, we need to find the transition functions of these two. Okay. Next, first let us find for a Q1. So, transition function of Q1 on 0, transition function of Q1 on 1. Okay. So, what it is here now? Q1 on 0, what it is there? Q1 on 0, nothing. Okay. Q1 on 1, what it is? Q0, Q1. Okay. Is there any new state we got? No, that is Q0, Q1 itself, which we need to derive again. Okay, so Q1 is finished. Next, we'll find for transition of Q0, Q1 on 0. Okay, so this is how we need to find. First, a transition function of Q0 on 0 union transition function of Q1 on 0. Okay, Q0 on 0, what it is? Q0, Q1 union Q1 on 0, what it is? Nothing. So this will be what? Q0, Q1. Okay. Next, transition of Q0, Q1 on 1. So transition of Q0 on 1 union transition of Q1 on 1. Q naught on 1 is what? Q naught, Q1. Union. Transition of Q1 on 1, Q naught, Q1. So union of these two will be what? Q naught, Q1. Okay. So is there any new state we got for this? No. So what we should do again? If we get a new state, then we need to derive for those, whatever the new state we got. If we didn't get any new state, so stop doing further. Okay. So we'll write the transition table for this, whatever we have got. That is 0 and 1. So first state, initial state, that is Q naught. Okay. Q naught on 0, what it is? Q naught, Q1. Q naught on 1, what it is? Q1. Q1 on 0. Next is Q1 we got. Okay. Q1. And what is the other state we got is Q naught, Q1. So Q1 on 0, what it is? Nothing. Next, Q1 on 1 is Q naught, Q1. Okay. Next, Q naught, Q1 on 0, Q naught, Q1. Next, Q naught, Q1 on 1 is Q naught, Q1. Okay. Now we need to draw the transition diagram for this DFA. Okay. For the given DFA. Okay. So this table, transition table was for NFA, and this transition table is for DFA. Now we need to draw the transition diagram for the DFA. That is transition table we have obtained, right? That is for DFA. We need to draw the transition diagram for that. So what is the start state here? Q naught. And what is the final state? Q1. So wherever Q1 will be there, that will be the final state. So Q naught is a start state. Okay. Q1, as this is final state, because Q1 is the final state in the given NFA to DFA diagram. So next, Q naught, Q1. Okay, Q naught on 0, where it is going? See here, the transition table. Q naught on 0, Q naught, Q1. 0. Okay. Q naught on 1, Q1. Q1 on 0, no. It is going nowhere. Q1 on 1, here. Okay. Q naught, Q1 on 0, low. Q naught, Q1 on 1, again loop. So loop indicates what? May or may not. It may come for one time or more than one time, or it may not come also. Okay. This is how we need to convert the given NFA into the DFA. Okay. What we have done is, first we have written the transition table for the given NFA. Okay. Next, whatever the state, we will start with the initial state, that is Q naught. Okay. Q naught we have started, and what the transition functions we got, that we are going to write, and whichever the new states we are going to get, we are going to derive for that. Okay. So we got this new DFA transition table. So using this DFA, we have drawn this transition diagram. So this is how we need to convert the given NFA into DFA. Okay. Let us solve one more problem. Okay. See here now. Next, convert the given NFA to DFA. Previously we did was only for 2 states, but check now, this is for 3 states. Okay. So first, what are the 3 states here? Start state is Q naught and final state is Q2. Okay. So first, write the transition table for this. A, B, okay, Q naught, Q1, Q2. Q naught on A, where it is going? Q naught only. Okay. Only Q naught. Next, Q naught on B, Q naught, Q1. Okay. Next, Q1 on A, nowhere. Q1 on A, yes. So Q1 on A, it is going to Q2. Q1 on B, Q1 as well as Q2. Okay. Next, Q2 on A, nowhere. Q2 on B, it is going to Q2, Q0 also, and it is going to Q2 also. Q0, Q2. Okay. Now let us derive the transition functions for these new states. So we'll start with the initial state. So transition of Q0 on A, transition of Q0 on B. So Q0 on A, what we got is Q0 only. Transition of Q0 on B is Q0, Q1. So these are the new state we got. That is Q0 already we derived. So no need to derive for that. Go with Q0, Q1. Okay. Transition of Q0, Q1 on A. Okay. So transition of Q0 on A union transition of Q1 on A. So transition of Q0 on A is what? Q0 only. Union Q1 on A, Q2. So this is Q0, Q2. Okay. Next, transition of Q0, Q1 on B is what? Transition of Q0 on B union transition of Q1 on B. So transition of Q0 on B is what? Q0 on B is Q0, Q1. Okay, union transition of Q1 on B, Q1, Q2. Okay, what is the union of all this? Q0, Q1, Q2. Okay, so simultaneously I'll write here the transition table. This is A, comma B. Okay, initial state is Q0. Q0 on A, what we got is Q0. And Q0 on B is Q0, Q1. Okay. So which state we got new is Q0, Q1. Whatever the new state we got, we are going to derive for that. Q0, Q1 on A is what? Q0, Q2 we got. Still this didn't finish. Okay. Just I'm writing it here in the form of a table. So Q0, Q1 on B is Q0, Q1, Q2. Okay. So what new state we got here? Q0, Q2, Q0, Q1, Q2. So first we'll derive for Q0, Q2. Next we'll go for Q0, Q1, Q2. Okay. Let us find for transition of Q0, Q2 on A is what? Transition of Q0 on A union transition of Q0, Q2 on A. Okay. Q0 on A is what? Q0 only. Union Q2 on A, nothing. So this is nothing but what? Equal to Q0 only. Q0, Q2 on A is Q0. Next, transition of Q0, Q2 on B. So transition of Q0 on A union, not A here. As we are dealing with a B here, so we need to solve for B. So Q0 on B union transition of Q2 on B. So Q0 on B is what? Q0, Q1. Okay, union Q2 on B is what? Q2 on B is Q0, Q2. What is the union of this? Q0, Q1, Q2. Okay, so Q0, Q1, Q2. So what are the new states we got here? Is there any new state? No, because already Q0 we have solved. Q0, Q1, Q2 we got now. So we need to derive for Q0, Q1 and Q2. Okay, let us solve here. Transition of Q0, Q1, Q2 on A. This is how transition of Q0 on A union transition of Q1 on A union transition of Q2 on A. Okay, what is Q0 on A? Q0 only union. Q1 on A, Q2. Q2 on A, nothing. So this is Q0, Q2. Q0, Q2. Okay, next transition of Q0, Q1, Q2 on B. Okay, so how transition of Q0 on B, union transition of Q1 on B, union transition of Q2 on B. Okay, so Q0 on B is what? Q0, Q1. Union Q1 on B is what? Q1 on B. Q1, Q2. Okay. Union transition of Q2 on B is what? Q2, Q0, Q2. Okay. So union of all this will be what? Q0, Q1 and Q2. Q0, Q1, Q2. Okay, we got these two states, that is Q0, Q2, Q0, Q1, Q2. Are these states a new state? No, because already this we got previously, that is Q0, Q2, okay, and Q0, Q1, Q2. So is there any new state we are going to get again? No. So we need to stop for derivation here. Next, so this is the transition table for DFA we have, okay, derived. Just now we have derived, and this was for NFA. Okay. Next, using this transition table of a DFA, we'll draw the transition diagram. Okay, what are the states? How many states we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4 states. Okay. So one state is Q0. Next state is Q0, Q1. Q0, Q2. One more state is Q0, Q1, Q2. Okay. So which is the start state? Q0. And which is the final state? Q2. So wherever Q2 is there, we need to write it as a final state. Q2, Q2. So this is final state and this is also a final state. Okay. So Q0 on A is Q0 only. So that is loop. Okay. Q0 on B is Q0, Q1. This is on B. Next Q0, Q1 on A, Q0, Q2. Okay. Q0, Q1 on B, this. Okay. Q0, Q2 on A is Q0. On B is this. Okay. Next Q0, Q1, Q2 on A, Q0, Q2. On B is this. Because Q0, Q1, Q2 on B is this itself. That is, so we can take a loop. So loop indicates what may or may not. Okay. It may come for 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Okay. State repeated with that input symbol. Okay. How many times it wants? It can be repeated. Okay. So this is how we need to convert the given NFA into DFA. Okay. Understood? That is, first we need to write the transition table for the given NFA. Okay. Whatever the first we'll start with the initial state. Okay. This are a initial state. So these two we got states. So whichever the new state we got, for that we need to derive again. Okay. Okay. For this again we got Q0, Q2 and Q0, Q1, Q2. For these two, we need to derive again. So after derivation of all this transition functions, after deriving all this transition functions, we will write a DFA table. That is transition table for the DFA. So using that transition table, we can draw the transition diagram. Okay, understood? Okay, these are few references. Thank you.